trophy immediately, and we're going to take that opportunity to take a mountain, and now we're playing collision. Right? Finishing this either way. So better second round. We were on the play though.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're watching Hella Good Game, and Mythic Championship V just finished. So today we're going to look at Javier Dominguez's deck. Now this is a Gruul aggro deck, and it is mean. Previously we covered Throne of Eldraine Gruul, but we did not think of putting Embercleave into the fray. So this is an absolute beast of a card in Throne of Eldraine. Embercleave costs 6, has flash. It costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. And then when it enters the battlefield, you automatically equip it. And then its equip cost is 3. And equipped creature gets +1/+1, double strike, and trample. Which is absolutely crazy, you guys. When we break down the rest of the deck, we have 4 Pelt Collectors. Whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, if that creature's power is greater than Pelt Collectors, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And then as long as it has 3 or more counters on it, it has trample. 2 Cruel Harpooners. This is mostly just for sniping down the Gilded Goose, right? It has reach, and then when it enters the battlefield, you can choose up to 1 target with flying that you don't control, and Harpooner gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard, the undergrowth part of that. And then you may have Cruel Harpooner fight target flying creature. We have 4 Once Upon Times, so obviously if this is your first spell cast, you can cast it for free, and then you're looking at the top 5 cards of your library, and you are playing a creature or land card from among them into your hand. 3 Paradise Druids. Now this is just a mana ramp. It has hexproof as long as it's untapped, and then tap to add 1 mana of any color. We have 3 Collision/Colossus. This is great for dealing with Hydroid Crasises that are flying, and we can also go big with Trample here. Target creature gets +4/+2 and gains trample until end of turn, or Collision deals 6 damage to target creature with flying. Zerta Goblin ×4 for 2. This is a nice 2-drop. It's a 2/2 with Riot, and we're always going to want to put this in as a 3/3 just so we can smash through those Arboreal Grazers, right? Bonecrusher Giant ×4. Now this is one of my favorite cards of the set as well. It's a giant, so it's Surviving Realm Cloak Giant for starters. That's great. It's got an instant to it. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Stomp deals 2 damage to any target, which is great. And then the creature side of the card, whenever Bonecrusher Giant becomes the target of a spell, Bonecrusher Giant deals 2 damage to that spell's controller. So he can't be targeted often. However, if we do decide to put Colossus on our Bonecrusher Giant, we're going to be taking that 2 damage ourselves. We have 4 Gruul Spellbreakers. Riot Trample, as long as it's your turn. You and Gruul Spellbreaker have hexproof, which is crazy. We can leave this as a 3/3 or bring it in as a 4/4, depending on the situation at hand. Questing Beast, this is absolutely amazing. Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt to creatures you control can't be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls as well. So we want to ideally put our Embercleave on our Questing Beast, right? We also have 3 Skarkin Hellkites. This is Riot Flying, 4/4 for 5, so a little bit heavier in that mana cost. And then it can pay 4, deal 2 damage divided as you choose among up to 2 targets. Activate this ability only if he has a counter on him, though. So you're going to need Riot's counter for that ability to be effective, or active, I guess. However, still just a great card if you bring it in as a 4/4 flyer with haste. And then the 2 Embercleaves that are giving things double strike and trample. So not a huge deck. We can look at the sideboard as well. We have Red Cap Melees. These are taking out any other red decks. Red Cap Melee deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If a non-red permanent is dealt damage this way, you sacrifice a land, so you don't want to be doing that. You want to really avoid that. And just save that for the red cards, right? Shock deals 2 damage to any target. This is good for Knight of the Heaven Legion, Gilded Goose, even though we have the Harpooners for them. Veil of Summer. Draw a card if an opponent has cast a blue or black spell this turn. Spells you control can't be countered this turn. You and permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and black until end of turn. So I guess this is pretty good for a lot of weird janked up reasons. For instance, Brazen Borrower. This could potentially protect you from that, keeping your threat on the field and allowing you to get lethal if it's down to that. Really, anything blue or black that is kind of messing up with you, you're going to sideboard that in for. Dominus Ambush. I love this as removal. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. You could snipe out planeswalkers with this. Absolutely beautiful. It's a way to get past their blockers right into the planeswalkers and get rid of that nasty little Oko that we all know and love. We have 3 Lovestruck Beasts, so you can play this as a sorcery adventure. Create a 1/1 white human creature token, as you'll see on the left, and then you can pay 3 for Lovestruck Beast. He's a 5/5, which is absolute absurd value. He can't attack unless you control a 1/1, but he can block, so this is really good against red decks because it just gives you that huge blocker that they can't burn away and they're going to have to deal with somehow. Thrashing Brontoton. You're using this to destroy artifacts or enchantments that you can't necessarily deal with or get around. One that comes to mind is Lucky Clover in the adventure decks, right? So you can just snipe out Lucky Clover with this as an example. Potentially even taking out Golos with this because Golos is an artifact as well. And then Shifting Ceratops. This spell can't be counter protection from blue, which also equals protection from a lot of Simic cards because they are blue and green. So this can get right past the Hydra Crisis, which is nice. And then you can pay 1 for Shifting Ceratops, gains your choice of Reach, Trample, or Haste until the end of turn. So that's that. This is the best deck in Standard right now. Javier Dominguez, what a gorgeous deck, buddy. Congratulations on your Mythic Championship victory. I cannot wait for my chance. I know you've been in this a lot longer than most of us, but I'm prepared to put in those years, and we will see you hopefully when you're still around, right? With that being said, if you enjoyed this deck breakdown, make sure to check out MTGA Zone for all the latest information, and most importantly, like and comment on this video. Tell me what you thought. And then if you are feeling so inclined, subscribe to the channel for your chance to win up to $500,000 in gems. Let's get into it. So we've been pushing our rank a little bit yesterday. We're up to about 95%. We do have the Mythic Qualifier this weekend, so we've been kind of practicing a little bit. And why don't we play a little bit of best of 3 today, seeing as that's where we left off yesterday. Reset our volume there. That was a little aggressive. We like this because we can play our Once Upon a Time Pelt Collector Giant. We do go first as well. I'm not sure what time bans come out today, but they do hit at some point. They might have already, so we're going to be covering all that as well. So we're breaking down the top decks of the tournament this week, and then we're going to hopefully be playing a little bit of Brawl this weekend. So just having some fun in general. We forgot to cast our Once Upon a Time, which really sucks for us, but nonetheless, let's get our Stomp in on his Goose. That 1 damage in. Here we see a Lovestruck Beast, not really an issue. Let's dig for a land. We want to stay on pace for questing beasts, correct? Skipping our turn. So we see some Temur shenanigans here. I was not expecting this basic mountain. I truly thought we were going to see a Simic food deck. But here is Lovestruck Beast again. No blocks here that I can go through.
Let's toss it in the air again, looking for another land. We're going to grab a mountain this time. Toss a Pelt Collector. There goes our mountain. No attacks. He can still block. Okay, no blocks for us either. We're down to 11. That's a big hit, guys. We're going to use our Bone Crusher Giant and maybe Colossus it. It's hard to say. I don't want too many Lovestruck Beasts around, though. Know what I mean? No attacks here. We're going to hold back. End our turn. We're just going to try kind of chill out. Then we're going to get this Hellkite in, if possible. I could protect them. Why not? And that kind of takes our steam out of this turn, though. That's what we wanted to do, so less than ideal, of course. I guess we'll just leave the one block. Maybe we should have let him have it, and then we could have still interacted during combat, because this is getting out of control in a big, big way. Questing Beast has Vigilance and Death Touch, so that's probably our best route here. And then hopefully it's just a Lovestruck Beast that he trades with. Yeah. So we do get the token there again on our Pelt Collector, which is nice. And a Lucky Clover. So this is going to get way out of hand. He does take the damage, but he returns both cards to our hand. So we were talking about the importance of destroying this Lucky Clover. Let's show you guys a little bit of what that looks like. Man, I wish we could have got this. We're close, right? We got close. We should have got our Hellkite out earlier. And we also should have not played that to show them that we had it. We should have withheld that information in our hand. But that's all right. So we're taking 2 Thrashing Brontodons. This is going to destroy that enchantment for us. We also like Domri's Ambush. We're going to take out some of his important pieces. No flyer, so our Harpooner can leave. We could go down to 3 Questing Beasts probably, but let's let it rest. Let's drop a couple Giants because we brought our Brontodons in. So we'll toss the Giants. And no Planeswalkers I didn't see, so we'll drop a single Questing Beast. So we've added Domri's Ambush. We've added Thrashing Brontodon. Shock is something we can look at potentially as well. So we'll grab one of those. We don't want to be too aggressive on the Shocks and then just get stuck with them because we are a creature-based aggro deck, so we don't want too much burn. We are on the play here, and well, we've got a couple good things in our hand. That's for sure. We have 4 lands, 2 creatures, and an Embercleave for 6, which costs 2 less or 1 less to cast for every attacking creature you control. So we have a hand that just goes full in here. Whether or not we're able to get it going is maybe going to be another task in itself. Okay, so we see a slow start, which is fine. Our opponent was playing Teamer Shenanigans. Let's still put the counter on him, just for brevity's sake. And we're in for 2. For 5 this turn, unless he's got a shock, which I feel like he does. Let's get down that 3rd creature, so we're playing Embercleave next turn, no matter what, unless he gets a double removal in. If he kills that before this one enters the battlefield, this one won't get a counter. So that's pretty groovy of him. But we're coming over with no regard for anyone's safety. Oh, he lava coils us as wow, that does slow us down. Okay, so we need no more lands. This is something we seen happen yesterday to the deck where it just kind of flooded out. Thrashing Bronzodon, you just know we're keeping that on tap. We're going to Embercleave that bad boy next turn if he survives. Oh, what a guy. So that's 5. Let's get in there and we're going to toss this Embercleave on our Bronzodon. And that is kind of how we want this whole situation to go. Obviously, we did kind of fold the first round due to that misplay, but it could be worse. It could be much, much worse. And he attacks. Can you believe that? We're at 19 life. I've got trample, and he attacks. Absolute insanity, you guys. I'm coming in with haste here. We're also going to come in with haste here, and we are all over for the quick comeback and 2nd round win. Uh-oh, Aether Gust. I don't like that. Yeah, I kind of like putting it on top because it is one of our cards that we need. Right, because if he does play Lucky Clover or Edgewall Innkeeper, which he just sacrificed. Yeah, okay. So this is all right. We squeak through, and so what did we really face here that was annoying to us? That Lovestruck Beast, right? He has blue, but I didn't see a single blue creature. I don't know why it won't let me check out his graveyard. There we go. Aether Gust, I'm pretty sure that's the only reason he's rocking that. But our Ceratops would be protected by that. Or from that. But then he could just do it on the equipment as well. So that wouldn't really much matter. Veil of Summer protecting us from Aether Gust as well. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty good where we've got it. I'm tempted to bring in another Shock or maybe our own Lovestruck Beast, but I just can't justify it. Maybe a Shifting Ceratops in lieu of a Spellbreaker, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Let's just leave it. We did all right that round. Hopefully squeaking in with the win here. There we are. Okay, not a good hand at all. We're going to mulligan this away, and that is just as bad. We're going to toss a land. We're going to not forget to cast our Once Upon a Time. We're going to pull a forest, and we're going to be all set from here. So we pull the forest. We look for... no, we can't take the shock. It's land or creature. Well, we still look for a Repel Collector. Right? That's still our go-to move. Oh! I spazzed out. I didn't even see what cards we pulled up. Oops. But we're going to make it work. We are going to make it work, people. That was a quick double click on my behalf. We can ramp as well. It's not anything new. Questing Beast next turn. Ideally. We're going to get in there. You know it. You absolutely know it. And he does have some shenanigans. A Bone Crusher Giant. That's fine. We have another Paradise Druid in our hand, and no need for 2 forests at this point anymore. Questing Beast is live, so it's not a problem. 3 cards in his hand, access to a Lava Coil, 2 Bone Crusher Giants, 2 Shocks, etc., etc. Don't shoot there. Okay, so we're in a bad position. He's 3 land available. And he puts his giant out. And then he gets to draw. A little bit of a problem. Let's toss out a big boy. Domri's Ambush would be sick to pull. This is going to give first strike to his giant if he wanted. Yeah. Paying 2 life here. This comes in, I guess, with haste. And then we're all coming over on the Royal Scion. He wants to kill, which is perfect. This is great. Where did my beloved mouse go? There we are. So we're going to buff up our little goblin there. Does 7 damage. So, a 2-for-1, I suppose, or 2-for-2, I guess, because we did have to use our Colossus as well. We're getting double gianted. That's pretty nice luck, especially since we just dealt with 1. And we're kind of getting screwed, whereas he has the Edgewall Innkeeper, and that is just skating by us, you guys. So really, we should have sideboarded in those 2 extra shocks, or that 1 extra shock. We did end up taking 1, but we left 1 in our sideboard, and we could have used that to blast this Innkeeper. And we're flooding out in lands again. Kind of the story of the deck, but let's not focus on that too much, right? Let's move away from it. And let's move towards a Skarkin Hellkite that can somehow not be blocked by these geese. As far as the weekend, how did everybody enjoy the championship? I know I watched it for all 3 days, so I pushed my rank. So that was a lot of fun. We have the MCQ this weekend, so I'm really looking forward to getting some practice in this week, and then, you know, testing my luck in this new formed meta after today's ban. this weekend, and I'm thinking maybe Gruul might do it. So we're in a practice here. I've also been playing with Mono Red by Li Shitian. So maybe we'll showcase that tomorrow, right? This is a best of 3 deck as well. So I've been playing best of 3 lately, so maybe this week will be a whole best of 3 theme. We also have some new budget decks by Terrence, and this must be our 3rd or 4th land drop in a row. That's going to be game, and I know when to pack it up. 2 Edgewall Innkeepers that we should have dealt with. But let's play one more before we go today. A little bit of a quicker video. I just want to talk about the sideboard mostly, and then show you guys some interactions, because I'm sure you're all used to playing best of 1, and you know what's good, what's not. But now we just want to kind of take a deeper look at our opponent's deck, and then how can we edit for it. And we're always wanting to play first. No ramp, but we do have a questing beast possibly on curve. Right? We have a little bit of removal with our Bone Crusher Giants. And then if we really curve out, we can Hellkite. So let's get started. Paying life. Here's his goose. There's his food. Turn 2 Oko. I kill myself. But we can stop turn 2 Oko with Stomp. Right? Now we've got to play turn 3, which is still incredible. Let's be honest. Paradise Druid, that's fine. We slip in an Embercleave. This could be good. This could be very, very good. Let's use our full curve here, or full mana allocation, and we're putting our Bone Crusher Giant out for 3. We have a questing beast next turn, and I'm not sure if he's gonna maybe turn his gentleman into a 3/3. That's probably best. Fine. There's the land, gets a scry. 3 cards. So with that, our questing beast comes out, and that is glorious. All attack. This can go to Oko if he wants the kill. Right? So we do a trade. 4 damage in on his person, 4 damage in on Oko. That's not bad. And we have our Hellkite next turn with haste. So, oh, he elked me. And he plays his own questing beast. That's pretty groovy. No blocks. No blocks, no blocks. Unfortunately, that's our only move. I guess we could have Embercleaved. No reach. Let's get this over there at least. And we'll try to play a little bit of defense here, and hopefully we can avoid our Skark and Hellkite going into an Elk again. And then we're going to Embercleave our Hellkite, and that should be game. Should be game, I hope. We could also Embercleave our Elk questing beast, I think, because then we're getting 4 damage in, and then another 4. And our gentleman will survive, so that'll be 8. He'll be left with 4. That should be game. Nissa, who shakes the world. Great card. Great card. So we've got to remember that we're on a timer ourselves, right? We are on a timer ourselves. No blocks here. I think that would be partial of us. So we have 3, 6. We only need 4. So we have 2 extra. So we need this as a blocker, I believe. And he's going to hit us with, 3/6. Yeah, I guess let's push these numbers. Let's do the rundown on them. Depending on what blockers we see, we're going to toss on the cleavage and smash through his other questing beast as our triple-headed elk. There we go. So because we're giving him double strike, that also includes first strike. So that means that death touch damage won't be dealt to him. And we do get that 8 damage in like we talked about. And now here is our defender. We're going to give him a counter so he can block the lands. We have a Hellkite, so he needs to drop an Oko. And he needs to turn our Hellkite into an Elk. But then we also have our questing Elk, I guess you could call it, with Embercleave. So that looks like we may have sealed in game 1. Make sure to like and comment on this video. Let me know what you think of the deck so far. Let me know what you thought of Javier Dominguez playing it in the Mythic Championship V. I would love your feedback on that. And then, of course, subscribe to the channel. A second questing beast does do some damage to us, but I don't think it's enough. Oh, it is enough. Holy moly. What a turn of events. Nice. So he just beat us there, if you can believe that. I thought we had that in the bag. Oh my god. So we can go ahead and pack up here. That's incredible. Nissa is absolutely broken. I thought we had that in the bag for sure. And what were our problems to begin with? The Goose, Oko. So the Goose can take some more shocks. Oko is trash. Protection from blue because Oko is blue. And then Domri's Ambush to deal with that. So we're keeping our Harpooner. We drop 1 questing beast. 1 Spellbreaker. We're keeping these Harpooners. We're going to keep the shock as well. And Collision Colossus can get dropped. Bonecrusher Giant can get dropped. I guess maybe we'll drop a Once Upon a Time. Maybe a Collision Colossus we drop. We already did. Shoot. I guess a Pelt Collector. We really just want those Domri's Ambush. So, pretty drastic turn of events right there. We're going to keep this. We go first. We're going to pull out our Pelt Collector. There he is. And we're going to turn to Paradise Druid. There's this Goose. We know this. Shoot. We can get that next turn, but we could also just save it, I suppose. Getting 2 damage in early. Not blocking by the Goose because he wants to turn 2 Oko. Which is going to be something to deal with for sure. He doesn't. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Let's try to trade our Paradise Druid with his Gilded Goose. Down to 12. We have Embercleave in hand. No sources of red mana, though, other than our 2 Paradise Druids, which we then aren't able to attack with to reduce the cost. He has done so much damage to himself in lands, it's not even funny. We have Domri's Ambush ready to strike. So let's see where he gets to. Questing Beast, interesting. Okay, so we're going to need something else. Well, that works. We're going to put a counter on it, and then we're going to use our Domri's Ambush right on it again. Well, no, cancel. We're actually going to want to do that on our Pelt Collector because he's attacking this turn. Right? It gives us an extra point of damage, takes him down to 6. And again, we're looking in a great position. But let's see if we can close it out. Let's not let go of his neck yet. Okay, he's down to 6. Has Oko available still. And we are pulling lands, baby. Let's go in with our Embercleave. And that should seal the deal. Yes, yes, y'all. To the beach, y'all. There is our cleavage coming in. And we're going to give this little lovely trample as well. And we do get Assassin's Trophy immediately. And we're going to take that opportunity to take a mountain. And now we're playing Collision. Right? Finishing this either way. So better second round. We were on the play, though. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves here. We did want those shocks, which we talked about. We worked those in. The Harpooner, Paradise Druid. What else could we use to destroy our opponent here? He is playing with Questing Beast. What is this Assassin's Trophy? Green and black, right? Yeah, okay. Not really great value because you need them to be casting a blue to draw. Yeah, screw it. I think that's fine. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Well, I guess you'd be like commenting on our videos and then subscribing to the channel, of course. We see a Questing Beast, we see a Goblin, and we see a Druid, so we don't dislike this hand. It's not the worst. A little bit of ramp going, right? We just need that second forest. Well, I guess we'll have that within our Paradise Druid. Okie dokie. Let's not pull any more lands. And if they do, they're forests. Well, let's get this out off the start. That way we're not dealing with its consequences later on. I guess we try to find Pelt Collector. We don't. We find a second questing beast. I'm going to take the giant because we already have a beast. And let's wrap to that as quick as we can, because now if we pay the druid, we can beast next turn. That's pretty cool. We have Embercleave as well now. And I'm sure he has an Assassin's Trophy ready. You know what I mean? This is maybe seems a little weird, but I'm trying to pull out that Assassin's Trophy. And in all honesty, I don't mind if he uses it on the Paradise Druid, because then we're just stacking a land down as well. So we get 4 points of damage in, and no Assassin's Trophy. Paying the life. Here's Nissa. So this is a problem. He does only have one. So if we're going to get around it, we're going to get around it now. I'm going to hit him with Embercleave, baby. See you later, Nissa. This is probably the coolest Embercleave attachment known to man. On your Paradise Druid. That's hardcore, man. And he decides to now Assassin's Trophy it, which is great. That's getting us into some trouble. That indeed just got us into some trouble, because he was able to use his land once he had declared his blocker already. So pro move there by Stardax. That might get us into some trouble. We have got to get this questing beast out, you guys. Are we looking for a Krasis? What's going on here? I think so, yeah. Classic. You know, people are all talking about ban Field of the Dead, ban Oko, but I don't know. I feel like they just maybe need to reword Krasis. When you cast this spell, it should be when the spell enters the battlefield. So we're in a bad position. The Krasis outpaces my Hellkite. We did see Nissa absolutely blow up the tournament as well. It's a little late for a Pelt Collector, in all honesty. This is like so far past where it should have gone to. In a big, big way. I don't even know. I don't know, guys. I do not know. I have nothing with reach, so that's a problem. Maybe I pull another Embercleave and he doesn't block and I get an absurd amount of damage in, but I doubt that. That's looking like game, to be honest. That Krasis, I'm telling you, just ruins games, man. But with that being said, that's all for me today. Thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate that. Obviously, Javier Dominguez is a little bit better of a pilot on this bad boy than me. But take a look at it. Look at the sideboard and play around with it a little bit. I think there's maybe a little bit more room for improvement with the land. It might be a little land heavy, but that could just be my draw luck. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all tomorrow.